name on my team. Liverpool with the best in the scene. If you don't know, we're trying to fight for the league. We're against Man City, so coming first is a dream. In the Premier, defense is the best. 75 M's, man had to invest. Now Van Dijk makes the other team score less. With Trent and Robertson, I swear that man don't rest. You'll be upset if you're coming on the press. Ripping to Bobby, you know we catch it on his chest. Back Kilmo's gonna hit it with finesse. Sadio with the pace, so you know it's some stress. And they going pass for Bilo. One pass for fine for Mino. If we don't score, Mane bangs the reload. Hard work pays off within it. These no cheat codes. Yeah, just the whole team's in beast mode, and that's down to man like Klopp. Make sure the boys don't flop. He's got the energy, so the G's don't stop. How long have we been at the top? It's a long season, and we don't want to lose. That's not bad for the time where it's all about cost. You win cups for those that you floss. It's hard to have depth in your squad, but you know we battle every game. Winning is our aim. Strong in our frame, got a formation that causes pain. So I might lick it with a scorching flame. If we lose the ball, we're gonna force mistakes. When you're in the genie, you'll grant any wish. You'll come through and draw the play. Wait, I know they hate on Hendo, but he always finds the pass with Bendo. He's a Champions League finalist. You're probably upset you're not friends, bro. Name me a better right back than Trendo. And how can we talk about left backs in a time where money talks to Robertson? If I ain't little, he's got respect, bro. Liverpool fan, man, I'm used to a hater. Go past them like a dribble from Cater. Don't forget that Allison's top saver. Imagine the back's getting braver. Man, put in the work and labour. So all the good times are a saver. It feels like the league's in our favour, and I hope I don't regret that later. But
we are back. Liverpool v everybody. I got my main man Mame here. How's everybody feeling? 3 days, I think, right? 3 days, is that right? 3 days away?
3 days.
3
3
days.
days. 72 hours, man.
So unless you guys have been under a rock, that was Big Zoo. Big up Big Zoo. He did a nice little freestyle there for the team, and I think he made it to the press conference yesterday and was able to interview Klopp. So big up to Big Zoo. I had to use that track.
Wow.
So yeah, man, we're here, and I'm excited, man. Let's just briefly just kind of go through the Champions League before we get to the time again. I think that's a nice little build up, and let's just start in the group stage. Let's go back and think of just how that went for us. I think the first game was against PSG. Did pretty well in most parts of that game. PSG pulled 2 goals back, and then Bobby, after having that eye issue situation, gets the goal there. As the group stage went on, Mame, at any point did you think, damn, after Kiev, we might not get this, or did you think coming to that final game against Napoli that we'd wrap it up? Or were you thinking that because we messed up against Red Star and we messed up against PSG away that it was going to be a season where maybe we just didn't advance this year?
Yeah. Of course, it was a tough, very tough group,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think any of the teams, Liverpool, or Napoli, or PSG, could be out of the group, But the thing is that as the runner up, I always thought we were gonna make it. And of course, it came at a time where we changed the system, new players coming in and doing a very good run in the league. You saw that club was doing a lot of management with the squad,
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows you like how we did well at home and how we were very poor away,
Yep. Yep.
So it was a strategy. I think Klopp was like, okay, we just gotta win all our games at home. I think Kiev away was an accident, and it made things really tough. So yeah, I think last game against Napoli, it was scary. It was scary. I was nervous, but I just knew Anfield, we're gonna win.
Yeah, and Allison came up big there. We all talk about it, and of course, people make it seem like, oh, it's an easy save to make. Easy or not, that's what we got him for. Let's be real. That's what we got him for, to do big time things like that in big time games. And let's be real. If we concede there, we're probably not where we are now, my man.
Yeah, of course. I mean that was worth every penny you signed. Even if you paid that money just for that moment, I think it was good enough.
Yeah.
That was the moment. That was the moment, not only for the Champions League season, but for the season, because the confidence it gave when we reached that you saw the team after that game. The team was really performing very well. Against Man U, all those run of games when we went above City. You know, it seems like there was some pressure that just went off.
Yeah, and you just said something about us doing pretty well at home and not away, and that's been pretty much the case throughout. I mean, the Bayern game at home, that wasn't a bad result, but it was 0-0. And then on the reverse, we went away and did that against Bayern, which was totally crazy. But we totally dominated that team away from home. Moving past the group stage, we get through, as we spoke about, the save from Allison, and just the team in general. I believe Salah scored the goal that we needed that game, so I got to big him
Yeah.
up for that. So we go on to I think most of us wanted, was it Porto next? Yeah, it was Porto, right?
No, it
Was it,
was Bayern.
it was Bayern next. It was Bayern next. Okay, so it's Bayern next. We're not Bayern out. We get past Porto, and then the big game, the Barcelona match where everyone counted us out, and we were able to get through that. So the team has just really shown a togetherness and shown that what happened last season, they want to erase that from their mind and give it another shot. And obviously we have that chance to do it. Throughout the Champions League, if you had to pick one goal that stood out to you that you won't forget, or that's very memorable, what would it be?
Of course, it's tough, man. This is a tough question, you know, because there was that
I
Mane.
know you want to go. I know you want to go with that. I was going to say the Mane one versus Bayern, but then obviously the game against Barcelona is hard to pick anything over that because of what it
Exactly.
meant. Yeah.
Even the game against Napoli, that Salah goal, you
Yeah,
know,
big. You're right. You're right. Maybe
you know,
maybe that's the one. Because
exactly.
we got to be fair. Maybe that's the one because even though in recent memory and the one we probably right now how we feel is you can say Origi, you can say Genie, but that Salah goal along with the save of course from Allison probably is the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the key moment, you know. And then of course the Barca goals, man, all of them. How can you just count them off? You know, it's a tough question. It's a really tough question. And
Yeah.
it just shows how this road was so intense, how it was
Mhm.
beautiful, you know, because it's not even one player that did all that, you know, it's different players. You know, it's Salah, then Mane, then
Mhm.
Origi, Wijnaldum. So yeah, it just shows that the team is something else. You know, everybody plays his parts at a different point of the season.
I mean, I still can't. I mean, not that I can't believe it, but I'm still just so impressed, and I just love the fact that we were able to beat a team like Barcelona at home without Salah, without Firmino, no Naby, and these guys who Shaqiri had been rocking on the bench for a long time, and yeah, his first half wasn't really that great, but still, let's remember Shaqiri has played a major role in this team throughout the season,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he put in a quality assist in that game. So it doesn't, people can have bad games, but that one shining moment against a team like that, when the stakes are high, you got to shout him out. And Origi taking his chance, hasn't really been playing a whole lot. Been playing here and there, and lately, well, towards the end of the season, he was coming in mainly because of injuries, and he took his chance. Genie, he's not known to be a big scorer, but he came in partially angry that he didn't start, and got those goals. So again, when we
Yeah.
talk about teams, to look at those two teams on paper going to a game. I mean, not many people, and you couldn't really knock them for not thinking that Liverpool could do much
And and,
without
and
those guys.
and exactly, that's the story of our season.
Yeah.
That's the story of our season. Because if you look at it, every single player, except maybe Moreno, contributed to this
Yep.
at some point. You
Hmm.
know, whether it's Sturridge, from Sturridge to Salah,
Hmm.
Hendo, Milner,
Good point.
everybody,
Good point. Yeah. Good
every
point.
single one, Shakiri,
Yeah.
and that's just great. That's just great because sometimes we just sit and say, yeah, we don't want this player, we want this player out of our club, but that player on one moment gave us the edge.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Every single one of them except Moreno. Let me say it again.
Yeah, poor Moreno. It's safe to say I even wonder. Well, he'll probably be on because it's like you can get 12 players, right, or 12 bench players.
Yeah, yeah, you can get all of them. He'll be on the bench. He'll be
Yeah,
on
he'll
the
be on the
bench.
bench. Yeah. So that's
You know?
that's an interesting dynamic that we'll get to in a second. But yeah, man, this is I can't say enough about this team. I'm running out of superlatives to just describe how excited I am and how proud I am of them to get to this point. Um, let's get down to it though. What are you thinking about this game? Do you think it's going to be? I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people being really, really cocky and confident. Which, listen, the confident part is okay, but I'm worried about getting too overconfident. You know, and I think to me, what happened in the league goes out the window. Just because we beat them twice, to me, doesn't mean a whole lot. And let's remember that second game. I'll take the W, of course, but that was a horrendous mistake by that keeper and the defender. So, just what are you thinking about building up to this game? It's 3 days away. Obviously, I know you, Mame. I know you're confident, but just tell me about this game. Maybe what the matchups you see, and just how you think the game will pan out.
Yeah, first of all, I'll say, I'm probably one of the most confident Liverpool fan, you
Yes.
know, but I am very nervous.
Mm.
I'm nervous because of, yeah, the fact that everybody around is very confident, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that, this is a final, man. Anything can happen. Anything
Yep.
can happen.
One
One
game.
player can be on a bad day, and
Mm-hmm.
it messes everything up. You know, Mane or Salah or even Firmino, the front three. Because the thing with Spurs is that Pochettino is a good coach, but his problem is that he only reacts, you know,
Mm. Good point.
and we have to take our chances,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the beginning, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because if you see at his maybe all the games first played, they were in trouble in the first minute, maybe in the first half, and then they changed something, and it always turned out to give them the edge, you know. So that's the thing. For me, it's not. It maybe won't be a tactical game
Mm-hmm.
if we don't allow it,
I like how you said that. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got to take our chances. Salah got to be on form. Mane, Firmino, everybody, especially the front three. I think this game will depend on the front three.
You know, and already there's just so much. I don't want to begin to say Spurs are a rival, but they're always really, really tough games. Besides the one-off, the game where Lovren loses his head, and they totally dismantle us in that game. But other than that, the games are really close, and there's been no love lost. That game where they get the late penalty, and we give, as Harry Claim says, don't give me two chances, where he gets that penalty. There's a lot of Dele Alli, him kind of beefing with Roberto Firmino. This to me is going to be a real slugfest, and it's hard for me to see it as a blowout one way or the other. I think it'll be really, really tight. I'm wondering what you think about Harry Claim and him starting or him playing a part in this game at all. In my mind, is this: look, Harry Kane, if he starts or doesn't start, I think he's going to have a good game. I think he sees this as probably his only opportunities, especially with Spurs. Who knows if he moves on to Madrid or wherever? But he feels like, how the hell did we get here without me? And the fact that we're here now without me, if I can play, I'm going to suit up, boot up, and I'm gonna give my all and have a good game, because he doesn't know if he's gonna get to a final again. So tell me
Yeah,
first. So two questions: do you think he'll start, and do you think if he does? Because some people are saying if he starts, it's better for us. So what's your opinion on Harry Claim?
okay. For the first question, if you start or not, I think if you Pochettino, you cannot come to the game and not starting one of your best players,
Okay.
even if he was not playing. Because if they lose, they'll be like, okay, why didn't you play Harry Kane?
I see where you're going. I see
So
where you're
that
going. Yeah.
there's some stuff you just cannot make like that. It's like a professional mistake. Of course,
Okay.
it can turn out to work out well, but if it doesn't, he'll be under criticism. And for the second question, for me, Harry Kane I mean, for us, it's better to start if they start Harry Kane, going against Van Dijk and Matip. You know, I think for us, it's easier to stop a proper striker than those roaming guys like Lucas and everybody.
Great
Even
point.
though
Great point.
Lucas doesn't scare me much, but you never know, man. Like on their day, playing with those guys, it might be harder. I
And
rather have a central forward, traditional, and Van Dijk can deal with him or Matip. It's easier for them.
yeah, Yeah,
Because
I think
if it's Lucas and Son, let's say Lucas and Son,
mhm.
Robertson and Trent won't probably be going up that much, going forward that much.
Okay, okay, I got you.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of agree with the if I love what you said about us probably dealing better with a traditional striker than the roaming players, and I do kind of agree with the whole fact that if Kane plays, it's better for us. Um, Lucas Moura probably had I don't know how long I don't know if it was 30 minutes or whatever he's scoring a hat trick, but that was probably one of the performances of his life. Especially that second goal where it looks like I don't know how he even made a shot, but he got it off. So he had an incredible game, and he can hurt teams. Now, I wonder if Kane is healthy, will they sacrifice Lucas Moura? Son is definitely, I think, spot on to start. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see from their point of view. To me, I want to talk about the midfield. Wanyama and Sissoko in that midfield can make this game even more of a slugfest. Both very physical, both very, very strong, powerful presence in that midfield. And I think the midfield is where this game really, really is going to have the most battles in the trenches, I think, in the midfield. So talk to me about, do you feel that way as well? Do you think our midfield is more superior to them? How do you think about the two midfields? I mean,
Uh,
I guess we should probably also talk about who you think should start in the midfield, but go ahead.
yeah, exactly. Of course, you're gonna have you must have Fabinho in there.
Okay.
You gotta have Fabinho in there to respond to that physical battle.
Yeah.
You know, and
Who's your other two?
of course, I think Hendo will be there
Mhm.
and Genie probably.
So no
You
shot
know,
for you for Milner. I agree with you, but I'm seeing a lot of people talking about Milner because of how much he wants it and how much he works, and
all of them want it, man.
I
What
know. That's
about
why I don't
Genie?
get when
What
people
about
say that.
Fabinho?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's yeah, of course it's tough, but you gotta go with them. And Milner will play a part too, of course. You know, he will come in. You know, the most important thing is to their midfield is not bad, of course. It's not bad, of course, but we just I think they're not better than us because the problem is not only the midfield. The problem is what do we do with that midfield? How fast do they go forward? Do they find the front three
Mm,
and everything? You know,
yeah.
that's the real thing. But I think that I think that it's kind of it's kind of the same firepower on that midfield.
Yeah, I think it'll be a serious clash there. And I agree with the midfield as well. I think Milner should play. I've also heard people say he should start because if we get a penalty, and that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't start a player just because there's a chance you might get a penalty. It's stupid. But no, I think Milner obviously has been playing a huge role, and I think he will. But you know what? I gotta say this. I'm not gonna get into what's fair and what's not because life is what it is. But I think it would be a travesty almost to not have Fab, Hendo, and Genie in that midfield. I'll rock with whatever Klopp goes with. Something tells me there's a chance he could bench Genie again. Now I saw Genie in the press conference, so that kind of tells me that he's probably going to start. Um, so I'm hoping to see that same midfield. I think the rest of the team picks itself. It looks like Firmino is fit to go. Are you hearing anything different?
No. I think Firmino got to be there, man.
Okay.
It's the same case as Harry Kane. You cannot have Firmino and put him on the bench. You cannot do that. Fit. If he's fit, play him. You know.
Yep. Yep. And as far as their fullbacks, I think if I'm Pochettino, I'm hoping he doesn't go with this. But if I'm him, I would go with. I don't know if Serge Aurier is fit or what, but I think Mane is going to eat Trippier alive. And I don't know what they're going to do to maybe they'll have Sissoko helping him on that side or whoever the winger on that side helping defensively. But if Trippier is there, I think Sadio Mane is going to have the game of his life. What do you say to
Well,
that?
it depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. Because I think it depends on how Mane will live with this pressure. I think he will do fine.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends because every time I really think he's gonna have a big game, not that he disappointed me, but it wasn't him, you know. Because
Okay.
now everybody's on Mane, man. Like look at the Barca game. Everybody was on Mane. He had
And
the he
he
had the
still was
he had
effective.
a
He
very
still was
good
effective,
game,
though.
of course.
Yeah, he still was
Huh?
effective. He still
Yeah,
was
he had a
effective.
very good game. He
Yeah.
had a very, very good game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it depends how they work on him.
I got you.
I don't think that Pochettino will just put Trippier on him and say deal with him. I don't
Yeah,
think
he can. He
it's
can.
just gonna happen.
He can.
You know.
And that's a good thing about having a guy like Hendo in this kind of form playing that 8, because they can try to shut Sadio Mane down all they want. You know, that just opens it up. Same with Salah. You know, Salah was the guy who was double team, triple team sometimes, people being physical with him and stuff like that. But now you got 2 guys on each side. You can't double team everybody. For me,
Exactly.
Firmino's back.
Exactly.
I'm sure he'll be up for this. But again, Hendo to me, I've been listening to different podcasts, different YouTube channels, and Hendo to me is key to this game. Hendo to me is very, very key to this game, and I think uh, the kind of game that Hendo has could really, really speak a lot to what happens in this game. And I say that because, again, he's been on some crazy form lately, playing in that more advanced role. And every time you turn around, you see him popping up in the box area. And he's not scared. You know, Milner's a guy who, even when he takes shots, he looks uncomfortable. He looks unsure. Hendo's going to have a go with it. And I love seeing him
Yeah.
playing that role. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
And his crosses, man. His
Yeah,
crosses are just
yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. You
He's
know.
one of the best
And
from his
yeah,
life.
of course, Hendo's gonna be very important in this game,
Yep.
in that number 8 role, because it's not it's not like he's a number 10. We know he's not a
Right,
number
right,
10,
right, right,
but
right.
this approach, his offensive approach is really good, because I think even the opposition is sometimes surprised of Hendo. I mean, lately, because
Mhm.
they think he's just there to defend, you know, but he can
Right.
make the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you make those crosses, those passes, and you know those crosses. You always look for Mane at the second post. You know,
Right. Yep.
and yeah, no, of course, Hendo gonna make a big difference. I mean, all of them. It's gonna be all of them. Man. It's hard
Yeah.
to say, but all of them. You know.
Are you concerned with this ridiculously long wait? It almost feels like it's a longer international break. Are you concerned with that leaving guys too rusty, or do you think that the training in Marbella and just the mentality, the strength of this team will pull us through? Are you concerned at all about the time in between having guys rusty?
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned, I won't
Mm-hmm.
lie,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember in January when we had that break and went to Spain again and came back looking a bit rusty and stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
was scared it might happen to us again. And I
Right.
remember this is a final, man. This is a final of the Champions League. You know, that's what these guys live for, man. So
Yep. They'll
they
be
will
ready.
give everything.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
will
yeah.
give.
I tend to go with that. I mean, it is a little concerning naturally. I mean, you're going to have that feeling. I think Spurs fans probably do as well, because it's a significant break. I don't know why it's so long this season, but it is. But yeah, I think just knowing what's at stake, knowing what happened last season, they've got to grab this opportunity.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I think
And we gotta be positive about it. Bobby is back, you know.
yeah,
So yeah, and even though I think it benefited them more because they had more injury problems. But
mm,
at the end of
okay,
the day, man, I think all the players want to have a a 3 week rest before after an intense season before having the last game, the final.
yeah.
You
Spend
know.
some time with family, stretch your legs a little bit, go travel, something like that. Get your mind right. But I think the boys they probably came back even a little bit early because of the magnitude of the game. It's a serious cup, man, and this would be really, really nice to put this in the
Yeah,
cabinet for Klopp.
and I think even for the international players, it's even better because it will help them stay focused for all that period. You know, like for
Yeah,
us, someone like Mane playing in the national team, the AFCON, you
hmm
know, being always focused, even if you had 3 weeks, then a week later you go with the national team. I think it's good. It keep them focused. It keep them concerned all the time.
yeah. I mean, I just It's going to be a hell of a game. I think even talking about Salah quickly, I think obviously we all know what happened last season and how unfortunate that was. And if anybody, he's got to be really relishing this opportunity to not only stay on the pitch this time, not get injured. Some of that is out
Yeah,
of his.
but for Salah, look at Salah, man. Salah last year, the final, he was injured. He was having the season of his life.
Yeah. It was
And this time, the one of the biggest game of the season against Barcelona, he's out again.
I know.
And
Yep.
he has the chance now to I mean, to show everything, to give everything he has. So I won't count him out. He's gonna do something.
Yeah, man. Even in the Barca game, I mean, people were just, let's be real. That Liverpool team gave their all. I'm still watching that Barcelona Liverpool game back, but those players gave their all on that pitch, and a lot of them were knocked out. Robertson, Hendo, somehow, somewhere, I don't know if he got injections or what got through that game. You can tell he was hurt. So I'm just hoping that we don't have that as something to fall back on this final. Knock on wood. There's no injuries in the 15th minute, 45th minute, or whatever. Hopefully, guys can get through the game because I think. With this team, I think we can really, this can really kickstart a lot of trophies for Liverpool. I think winning this trophy together with this squad, I think really could be a serious kickstarter for this team moving forward. We need that trophy, though.
Of course,
We need that
of
trophy,
course.
though.
You
Because this team knows.
you remember people saying, yeah, Salah will leave or Mane will leave at the end of the season. Even I was convinced that one of them would leave. And now we just see no reason why they would leave, especially if you win the Champions League.
Yep. I mean, same with Klopp. People obviously there's rumors about Klopp, even though he spoke on that recently about him going to Juve and all this other foolishness. So,
yeah, I don't pay much to those transfer things right now, man.
Yeah. Me
First
either.
of all, it's too early, and second,
You brought that up. Let's talk about that because I was going to come on and do a video a while ago. I put a tweet out about it, and it amazes me that we have a Champions League final coming up, and I get it. There's so much time off, but there's so many things you can do. If you have a partner, you could,
exactly.
her. If you have kids,
Bro,
spend some time with your kid, learn a new language, try new food. Why are we talking about transfers? I don't get it. Why are we talking about transfers?
These guys are just bored because the season is over.
Crazy. This is
There's no
really
football. That's the thing.
I know the
And,
window's open, but Jesus Christ, we got a team who's fighting for a Champions League. Why are we talking about transfers?
and look at it where it comes from. It comes from Italy or Spain because they have nothing to do right now. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's what they do, man.
Yeah, it really. I can't wrap my mind around that. I mean, there's so many things you can be doing. I don't know. Anyway, when that time comes, even if it's directly after the Champions League, that's when I'll put my thoughts into that. For now, I'm focused on our team. I mean, we know we're going to have some incomings and some outgoings, but I'm just so happy about this team that we have now that I can't be bothered with. And yeah, it's some of it's exciting when you come across it and you see it, but I just try to take my attention away from it because it's just half of it is BS anyway. You know what I mean? So we'll wait till after the Champions League and then we'll talk about that and we'll probably come back on and do some. So let's hope that when we do our post match, we're in good spirits and we're not here wondering how we didn't cross that line again. So just to shut it down, I mean to close out, give me a score prediction and also just for fun, give me the goal scorers.
Wow, I go with 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 with the front three scoring.
Okay.
For Tottenham, I don't really care.
I hear you. Yeah, this is a tough one for me, man. Damn. I think this is gonna be a bit of a dramatic final. Two English teams, and I'm gonna go with something a little closer, maybe like 3-2. And I think for us, I will go with Salah twice, and I'll go with Hendo. Salah twice and Hendo.
You
Um,
know. Yeah.
and then
But if you see the historic of the Champions League,
mhm,
when two teams from the same league play the final,
mhm.
the the better team always wins.
Yeah,
Sometimes much comfortably.
but they're usually oh really okay. I thought they were usually tighter. I mean, if we think about like Bayern and Borussia Dortmund, I think
Yeah,
what
but Bayern won.
I know, but I mean the games were tight though. It wasn't like it was a blowout. They didn't
Well,
destroy them.
tights. It depends what you call tights. Like when you look at the when you watch the game, you know that Bayern would win. You
Okay,
know,
fair enough.
like of course the score was quite tight, but when you watch when you start watching the game from the beginning, at
Yeah,
some point
Bayern.
you just know that Bayern will win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, look, I'd love it to be a. Some people in the chat are saying 4-1. Someone says I hope we win, but I think Spurs will win 3-1. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really look. I'd love to have a 3-1, 4-1, 5-0, whatever. I love that. I can't see that happening. I can't. I wouldn't be surprised if it did because I know what Liverpool can do against this team. I think both teams would be up for it, and I just think I got it being a little bit of a tougher affair. The goals for them.
I even say what I said one last time when we played Spurs. Even the
Mhm.
own goal, I don't care, man. Just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
win
yeah.
the game.
Yeah, we have more points than they do at the end of the game. That's all I care about. I don't care how we do it. And you
Exactly.
speak about that, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and he's probably going to end up having a game of his life. But Hugo Lloris is usually due for a boneheaded decision. So I'll be watching him to see how his nerves are, and especially in that early period, because I got to believe that I hope Klopp doesn't come into this game much like he did against Pep in the league. Very cautious, very a lot of respect. I hope he doesn't come that way. I hope he comes with just like boom, let's get out on him. We get on
No,
them
no,
early.
yeah, I think he won't do that because when he did that at those point there was still some there was still some management. He was calculating and stuff. But now you can't do that. This is the last game. This is the final. You just go with everything you have. That's it.
You have to just play. And he said it. He's already spoken about we're gonna play our game. So I just hope that's actually true, and I just hope that we don't give Poach and that team too much respect. We just play Liverpool football, and if we do that, I think there's no reason why we can't take the cup home. So I'm
You know what I think? I think it's gonna be that judging pressing from the beginning. That's the,
yeah, smother him.
that's
Yeah,
because that's the real Liverpool. I
yep,
mean, on the club.
yep.
That's I think that's how it's gonna go. Players have had some rest. They back, good mentality, motivated. So yeah, I think it's gonna be that, man. Because club knows he gotta kill the game quite early.
But do you think?
Because if you go with them in the second half and the score is still tight, you
Yeah,
know things can happen.
yep, yep. I mean, it does give me a bunch of confidence that we have a keeper um, that isn't going to make those mistakes, and just a more mature team. It's not really about only just about the keeper, but just a year more. They're that much more mature in situations like that, and we know this team never knows when they're beaten. So if it comes to a point where the score isn't in our favor, you got to believe Liverpool can pull
Yeah,
something out. But, go ahead.
if you remember last year the Real Madrid final, we
Hmm.
played very well,
We
even
did.
when Salah went out. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
but
It was
when
those mistakes. It was those simple
but
mistakes.
even when Salah was on the pitch, you're watching the game. We're doing very very well, but at some point you just say that I think Real Madrid will win.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I think it's maybe gonna be the same kind of game here. You know,
Hmm.
Tottenham will do well, but at the end of the day, of course, we'll be scared and stuff. We'll
Yeah,
be nervous, but at the end of the day, I think we'll win.
yeah. I can rock with that. I mean, that
You
makes
know.
that makes total sense. But do you think Pochettino will come out and try to play football, or do you think he'll be a little more cautious on his end?
Well,
Or you think he just said we have nothing to lose, we're not supposed to be here anyway. Let's just play our football, attack.
I think he will play his football. He doesn't have the choice, man. He
Okay.
doesn't have the choice because Spurs is a playing. He's a playing team, man. They play
Yeah.
football. They sometimes play really good football, and they have done it against Liverpool. They've
Mhm.
played football. No, except the first game of the season. I mean, I think it was Spurs away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing at that time. They looked very very weak,
Yeah.
even though the score was only 2-1.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think they will play. Yeah, they will play. They will play.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for this game. I can't wait for this game. 3 p.m. on this side of the world, Saturday. I know you and I be in touch, man, and if there's time, let's try to get on afterwards.
Yeah,
What time is that going to be on where you are?
it's gonna be at 8. No, 7.
7 p.m. Okay.
7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 hours from the from the East Coast.
Gotcha.
No,
Okay.
but I think James is in Madrid, right?
He might. I would imagine so. Now, if he's not now, it'll be tomorrow at the latest. I would say.
Yeah,
I got to find that out. But yeah, James is
yeah.
gonna.
It would be good to have him just to for him to
Yeah,
tell
that would
us
be nice.
how it's
That
over
would be
there.
nice.
You know,
Maybe I'll see if he can just even send me like a little clip that I can post on the channel. Just if you're
Exactly.
interested.
That would be
Um,
great. That would be great. You
but yeah,
know.
man, let's hope for the best. Listen, I think it's natural to be nervous. I'm definitely not going to predict. I'm not knocking anybody in the conversation who's predicted a loss for us, but I just can't. I can't predict my team losing in the Champions League. And I'm not going to start doing that now. So I'm confident with the team and what we can do. But obviously, it's another English team. They know each other. It's one game of football. Anything can happen. But I'm very very optimistic that Liverpool could or will.
And we gotta keep in mind that we need this more than Tottenham do.
Yes, for sure.
You know, for club, for the players, you know, for the story, for the history of the club, getting back up there. You
Hmm.
know, so yeah, I think
Your club
I
needs this
don't
every year.
understand some fans. You know, of course you cannot blame them or something like that. I don't understand some fans predicting a loss. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's that's not
I
fair for
can't
this
stand
team.
either. Now I don't know
After
if that's
all
reverse
after
psychology or what, but yeah,
yeah after all we've been through this season,
yeah,
you know, you don't have you cannot. It's unfair to doubt this team.
yeah.
You know, well that's my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own, but yeah, everything we've gone through. I mean, to say that, to put that even out there in the universe is a bit strange. But hey, hopefully at the end of the game they'll be saying that I don't know why I would have ever doubted my team and all that other good stuff. But as long as we
Hopefully,
believe, man, that's fine. We'll take that. Yeah, looking
yeah.
forward to it, and we will come back post match. Thank you for everybody who stopped in through into the comments. Mame, of course, always thank you for making time.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having me here, everybody, and good luck to all the Liverpool fans.
yes,
You know, and let's finish this.
yep, let's wrap it up, man. So, yeah, Mama, we'll talk soon, man. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks a
Appreciate it.
lot, man. Bye.
Yeah.
Such money, such a tell me that you never walk alone. I know. I took a loss again, but I still wake up tomorrow. Yeah, they do run the pitch. It stays up on the kick. Start your money, such a you tell me that you never walk alone. I took a loss today, but I still wake up tomorrow. But it danger on the pitch. Stays up on my killer téléphone sonne toujours. Allo, les téléphones sonne toujours. Allo, so many things in this bitch.